I know y'all hate intros, so let's just get straight
Musician
into the
Tory
video.
Lanez convicted of shooting rapper Megan Thee Stallion, sentenced to 10 years in prison.
Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez have gone through a grueling and dirty court trial. But alongside this battle is a battle of information and optics, and one of the biggest thorns in Megan's side has been Akademiks.
She had a lot of brand deals, and these brand deals, initially when the story was reported, it made it seem like Meg was part of some criminal activity with Tory. So she needed to get to the victim side because she got brand endorsements and all that. She said, "F that. Nigga, I'm the victim." She's like, she declared that. I'm the victim.
Megan has accused Akademiks of spreading false information, but despite an open invitation, she has not sued him yet.
And all y'all school keep saying, oh, Meg gonna sue Ak. Meg, I invited. Meg, I've been invited.
Instead, Akademiks was subpoenaed to testify in a separate case against one of Megan's other critics, and during that deposition, Megan's lawyers accidentally exposed private messages showing that they too despised Akademiks.
I'm talking their ear off. They
A woman was depositing a check at the bank, but when it fell into a storm drain, the frost banker went in and got it?
said, if he won't shut the f up, I'm never getting through this. Yeah, I had a lot to say. Yeah.
What you'll find is that Megan does not want people talking about the Tory Lanez case, but is carefully choosing which battles to fight. And when you look at the long-running feud between the two, you can see why Megan suing Akademiks would only play right into his hands. Things first got pretty heated between Meg and Akademiks in February of 2022, when Tory Lanez had a pre-trial hearing against Megan, or more specifically, Tory's trial against the state of California pursuing Megan's claims. Reporting on this hearing, Akademiks tweeted, "It was revealed in court a few moments ago that Tory Lanez's DNA was not found on the weapon in the Megan Thee Stallion case." This post went viral and Megan caught wind of it. She posted on Instagram, "I know some of y'all on payroll, but please don't get sued trying to create a hate campaign. Be a real journalist and post facts." She also posted, "Y'all got breaking news 15 minutes before court started and nobody has even been called in yet? Y'all trying to win a social media campaign. This is my real life. Y'all trying to get retweets, spreading false narratives." The implication for Megan was that Tory was paying Akademiks to spread this information and leaking court documents to him. Tory Lanez jumped into this argument and tweeted, "You can't buy and tweet your way out of this one. Not today." Megan responded to this post with a comment saying, "Lie your way out of this," and posted text from Tory which read, "I genuinely want you to know that I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart and I was just too drunk." Tory responded to this and claimed that he was apologizing for sleeping with Megan's best friend Kelsey, who was also in the car when the shooting happened. Tory tweeted, "Good D had me effing two best friends and I got caught. That's what I apologize for. It's sick how you spun it though." Akademiks later deleted his original tweet and clarified, Tory Lanez's trial adjourned till April, with Tory's lawyer telling the court they've completed DNA results from the prosecution, which is very pleasing to his client. "I saw the doc myself. It literally says it was inconclusive in finding Tory DNA on the gun or magazine." So the DNA wasn't not found, but was inconclusive. He added, "Meg gotta call the DA and ask him if it's true. I don't know why she up on here tagging me in posts like I just be making ish up." He followed this up with, "By the way, Meg can get the same document that they referenced in court today. Hopefully she's entitled to see what the DA will be using against Tory, being that she's the victim. It's part of discovery. Ask the DA what the completed DNA test said, then come back and apologize to Big Ak." 20 minutes after Akademiks sent this tweet, Nancy Dillon, who
You know damn well that woman ain't about to apologize for nothing. That whole thing was just out of emotion. Like she said, this her life. And I guess people just don't like that how now we speak on everybody's life. But you like when you get the benefits off of it. You get all the success, you get all of the money, you get all of the accolades, you get the recognition. But when things going wrong, you want everybody to turn their cameras off. Huh? You gotta understand what you accept into your life, dog.
who's a senior reporter from Rolling Stone, tweeted, "There was zero mention of DNA at the Tory Lanez hearing today. The report that Tory's lawyer told court DNA results were pleasing to his side is totally fabricated." Two sources tell Rolling Stone, "I'm about to receive the transcript. Will update. Pre-trial continued to April 5th. Megan then hit back at Akademiks. Little boy, please, how are you specifically able to see documents before they come out in court? What you saying is his lawyer's sharing documents with bloggers? Take your big ass on somewhere. Akademiks then made comments about a record deal with her label 1501, who Megan had tried to sue for allegedly preventing her from releasing music. By this time, she was also being managed by Roc Nation. He wrote, "You can't little boy me never in your life. You literally signed to someone, managed by a firm, and signed to another conglomerate. You don't own nothing you put out. You literally won all your awards off sympathy off this. You got shot storyline. Get your masters back, then holla." Akademiks then addressed the narrative that has been attached to Megan since the shooting. Since the case became public, many people believed Megan's story has been just a light that was talking about violence against women, black women in particular, and she became the hero for surviving it, and this in turn has positively impacted her career. He would tweet, "You so bothered over my tweeting out facts about Tory case? Go ask the DA. DNA results was submitted in discovery. Why you care so much what the internet says? Oh, I know, you've been living off a narrative, and it's sad you made it where if Tory don't go to jail, you don't win." And there would be yet another twist in this social media drama. Shortly after Akademiks tweeted this, Nancy Dillon wrote, "Update, I have transcript from court reporter. This is what Tory Lanez attorney said. We are in the process of actually retaining an expert with respect to DNA. It is our hope that we will be able to review and confirm the LAPD's analysis, which from our standpoint was favorable." Ultimately, Akademiks' initial tweet was slightly inaccurate, but it wasn't incorrect, and he later made sure to mention that. This back and forth beef slowly died down, but 2 months later, Akademiks would transform from a journalist reporting on the case to having his actual name mentioned in court. In April of 2022, Tory was taken into custody for violating judge's orders. Tory was prohibited from contacting Megan, and his tweets clearly violated this order. But Tory had also allegedly violated another order where he was forbidden from speaking about any discovery or evidence being used in the trial with outside parties. In other words, he had allegedly shared documents with someone who people believe was Akademiks. Tory's attorney, Sean Hawley, argued that because Ak had some of his information wrong, that meant that he did not have direct access to the documents. In the courtroom, she said, what Akademiks said is that the DNA was not found on the weapon. And in fact, the swab of the gun indicates inconclusive. There were 4 contributors. If he had seen this document, he presumably would have got it right. However, during this fiery exchange with Megan, Tory shot himself in the foot, no pun intended, when he tweeted, "Ak is telling no lies." So this tweet alone was a violation of speaking about discovery with other parties. In May 2022, the blogger Milagro Grams posted an LAPD report which said that on the night of the incident, a doctor said that Megan was transported to Cedars-Sinai and was treated by Dr. Lafredo for lacerations on her left foot. Dr. Lafredo confirmed laceration due to stepping on glass. In other words, and in Milagro's words, Megan was never shot and stepped on glass. Akademiks later shared this on his stream and brought this theory to a much wider audience. He also gave his opinion that Megan had to quickly paint herself as a victim.
She had a lot of brand deals, and these brand deals, initially when the story was reported, it made it seem like Meg was part of some criminal activity with Tory. So she needed to get to the victim side because she got brand endorsements and all that. She said, "F that. Nigga, I'm the victim." She declared that. I'm the victim.
Akademiks has also argued that a love triangle between Tory, Megan, and Kelsey was another driving factor behind what happened, and Megan choosing to supposedly lie about being shot by Tory. Ultimately, this theory that Megan simply stepped on glass has been debunked. When this first happened, Megan was understandably less cooperative with the police and lied about it. Ultimately, bullet fragments were later found. In June, Akademiks posted that it was not Tory Lanez who leaked the documents, but Megan's own management, Roc Nation. How many times they finna bring up my name in the case with Meg and Tory? I done told y'all I got the documents from Roc Nation and Meg's squad. We got more documents to go through on our next podcast. In the build-up to the trial, Akademiks even had Tory on his podcast. However, Tory was understandably very tight-lipped about the narratives and speculation swirling around the internet.
The narrative can be against me, but it's the narrative that's against me, and it's me, like you're saying, it's me not defending myself. In a lot of instances, in a lot of situations what a lot of people don't realize is one thing connects to another. And when you start talking about one thing,
this game, you're not ready for it.
people then connect it to something else. And sometimes, most of the time, those things have no correlation to each other. And so because of that, it's like you avoid it in its entirety because it's not the time and place.
When the trial finally started, there was speculation that Megan was going to sue bloggers for misinformation, and Ak pointed out that this could backfire on her.
Meg Thee Stallion, you're a black woman in hip-hop. Rock Nation, you guys represent a lot of black creators, black artists, and black athletes. If y'all think that trying to go to war with independent news media, and usually most of them are covering black culture, all at the behest and all while serving up these info to NBC News, as this, I believe this woman works for, NBC. I will tell you, this will be another PR mistake. This would be just another PR mistake. You don't go to war with a bunch of black creator platforms and serve the info up to the mainstream media. Do you understand that? Don't y'all realize the optics on
The news of Megan suing bloggers was reported by NBC reporter Kat Tenbarge. She then mentioned that some of Akademiks' tweets could be considered libelous.
In February, he tweeted and deleted that Tory Lanez DNA wasn't found in a gun. How the could Meg sue me about this? I'm talking about Tory Lanez case, and Tory Lanez. First of all, let's go back to what Pop Crave said. Bloggers spreading misinformation about her in Tory Lanez trial. I believe I made a statement about Tory Lanez DNA on a gun. It goes to further prove the point that perhaps Meg Thee Stallion is thinking anytime something is reported that might look favorable to Tory, it's something against her, which I've always claimed. This is a horrible PR move for Meg Thee Stallion.
But regardless of what the internet thought about the case, the judge and jury concluded that, beyond a reasonable doubt, Tory Lanez was guilty of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, having a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. Ultimately, he was sentenced to 10 years in prison. This should be where things should have ended, and Megan could put this chapter of life behind her, or should. But Akademiks still had his doubts about the case and continued to speak about it, and there was one point where he even dared Megan to sue him. In August of 2023, shortly after Tory was finally sentenced, a high-profile court reporter named Megan Cuniff said some interesting things about Ak. On a live stream, she said, "The judge found that Lanez leaked it to Akademiks. Lanez's own lawyers said that. I mean, they described that's how it happened in the document. And look, I can respect that he doesn't ever want to reveal who gave him that document. Like, he shouldn't have to do that. Either Megan is referring to other information, but it was clearly established earlier that Tory was punished for his tweet, Ak is telling no lies. So Ak responded to Cuniff and made some pretty juvenile comments about her appearance.
There is zero proof. And Megan Cuniff, I got $1 million for every pimple and every cross-eyed, lopsided look on your face. If you could prove otherwise, it was never proven in court that Tory Lanez gave me. It was never proven. The argument was that Tory Lanez co-signed something I said, which...
And moving on from the reporter, Akademiks then dared Megan to sue him if she thinks he is saying anything defamatory.
And all y'all who keep saying, oh, Meg gonna sue Ak. Meg, I invited. Meg, I've been invited it. I got $500,000 escrow just for Meg. We gonna have our defense team. We could go through it.
In November, Ak helped spread the rumor that Megan had a drinking problem and said that this was part of why Tory didn't want a serious relationship with her. And without any self-awareness whatsoever, Ak adopts a judgmental tone on her drinking too much.
Meg, when you first came in the game, you was an alcoholic. I don't know what your lifestyle is at currently these days, but you was an alcoholic. You was a woman who used to drink, blackout, get drunk, whoever, and then used to be very belligerent and used to be very aggressive. That was the word on you.
Need a hand? How about a banana? Nano Banana is now on Artlist.io, so you can edit any image you want into a banana.
People didn't enjoy your presence. They enjoyed you. But after they you the first time, they would just tell their other homie, it's easy to fuck her. But after they you the first time, they would just tell their other homie, it's easy to fuck her. They weren't trying to hang around. That was the word on the street. I'm telling you these things. You might not want to believe me, but this is how the talked about you.
One of the moments that didn't help Megan was in October of 2024. She released a documentary about her life and admitted that she had lied in a TV interview with Gayle King in 2022. King asked Megan if she was ever intimate with Tory, and she said no. In this documentary, she said that she lied because she didn't want to talk about their relationship. Around the same time as this documentary was released, Megan decided enough was enough and filed a defamation lawsuit. However, Megan didn't file it against Akademiks, but against someone that he had a lot of support and love for during the trial, Milagro Grams. Milagro is admittedly a much lower profile critic than Akademiks. Aiden Ross is another huge name that has been highly critical of Megan and in support of Tory. But with all that being said, it looks as if Milagro was much more ruthless when criticizing Megan. As many people know, defamation is a very difficult case to win in the USA. Megan is a public figure, which make it even more difficult for her to win this case. Akademiks is not really a liar who will make things up out of thin air, but people felt that he's been biased in the trial and will go along with theories and rumors that suit his own narrative, although some people just feel like he has more information than others. Milagro, meanwhile, has lied in ways that are easier to debunk, and some people would consider it constituting harassment. So this could be an example of Megan and Rock Nation carefully choosing the right battles to fight. In June, Milagro shared a deepfake video of what looked like Megan performing intimate acts. In July, Milagro accused Megan of being mentally disabled, and in September repeated the rumor that Megan had a drinking problem. In October, she claimed that the firearm from the shooting was not shown in the trial and had gone missing. The lawsuit stated that it is standard procedure in California to show a picture of the gun rather than bring it into court, and the firearm was in possession of the LAPD. And the lawsuit goes back as far as May of 2022, when she shared the LAPD police report where in isolation it looked like Megan stepped on glass and was never shot. Megan's legal team also believed that Milagro was being paid by Tory's team, and Milagro had deleted multiple texts she had with Tory's father. Akademiks definitely indirectly benefits from supporting Tory because of the drama involved, but doesn't need to be paid to hold this position. As part of this lawsuit against Milagro, Tory faced a deposition in February and reportedly mocked the lawyers and had to cover Megan's legal costs as a result. Megan soon obtained a gagging order against Milagro, meaning that she couldn't publicly comment on Megan anymore. As well as these legal wins, the ongoing case was financially crippling Milagro. On Megan's team were Quinn Emanuel, a highly respected corporate law firm, and on Milagro's side were the nonprofit legal team Unite the People. In June, Unite the People withdrew from the case because of financial difficulties, and Milagro needed a new lawyer. And even though Megan chose to make an example out of Milagro, Akademiks would soon be called to a deposition too, just like Tory Lanez. Akademiks also had some incredibly heated moments with this law firm during the deposition. Only this time around, Akademiks had all of these chaotic scenes on camera. Before the deposition started, Akademiks read out the legal letter he received from Megan's legal team at the law firm Quinn Emanuel.
Good afternoon, Mr. Allen. Thank you for confirming receipt of her subpoena for documents and to take her deposition in this matter. We are amenable to proceed on different dates, and for your convenience, we could try to get a conference room closer to your residence and blah, 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 blah. We'll confer with counsel for defense for the little alternate. Okay, I'll be in touch. And we responded, we'll be in touch as well. I have a lawyer filing some stuff, this and third. Yo, Milagros, I don't know what they got you in. I'm not no op to you. Listen, I had offered, I don't know if these over at Rock Nation thought that, because I offered you 15 bands or whatever, that I don't give a what they think. And I've been said this before, I was going to give you the bread, but truth be told, when the little weird happened and started talking about me, I thought you were being slick. So I was like, yo, I'm not going to beef with you, but I'm not giving you no money. That's a fact.
Akademiks then streamed a huge portion of the deposition. It looked as if they were trying to establish that Akademiks and Tory Lanez had some sort of relationship with finances. However, Akademiks gave an answer that did not suit the narrative they were trying to push. When Ak was asked which artists he has been paid to promote in the past, he responded,
I do believe I've gotten paid to promote Meg Stallion. She's a major artist.
You know your business better than anyone, right? So why not build an app to run it with Base 44? This finance app solves your business headaches. Track
this. I know. Oh, look at her face. Look at her face. Look at her face. Ah!
The deposition, according to Akademiks, went on for 7 hours. Ak claimed that this deposition was another attempt to drain Milagro of her already depleted funds. Milagro had a lawyer on the call who presumably, like most lawyers, was being billed by the hour.
So even that Rhonda chick that you don't see on camera that keeps talking, she's billing Milagro. Milagro has to pay that. But you can tell, like, she's one lawyer. She might be $300 an hour. I'm no disrespect to her. These lawyers are top-tier lawyers. So we stayed on for 7 hours. $3,000 per lawyer. 7 hours. That's over $20,000. That's my entire point. That's my entire point to y'all. They're legally bullying people.
Akademiks and these attorneys are coming from two completely different worlds. Lawyers are always very careful about what they say, whereas Akademiks' career has been built on bigging things up for entertainment. Asking about Tory, a lawyer named Joanna asked,
"What's your basis to believe that he was wrongfully convicted?"
The basis would be, I sat through and watched, in hip hop, I cover the majority of trials and the majority of cases. And I not only have to do that, clearly I'm not a lawyer, you are, but I review all of these details, court transcripts of all these testimonies. And I thought the burden of proof was on the prosecutor to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Tory Lanez was not only in possession of a weapon, but shot Miss Pete. And I had a lot of doubt. There was a lot of doubt that I thought was more than reasonable. So under that premise, I don't see, or I couldn't stand behind a decision to put somebody in jail for 10 years when there's more than what I believe is reasonable doubt that he didn't commit these crimes.
Akademiks' central point is that Megan has lied during this case. She lied about stepping on glass, and she also lied that she was ever intimate with Tory. So essentially, she cannot be trusted.
I accept the verdict. I accept all of this stuff. I don't accept a liar. I think she's a liar. She was a liar then. She's a liar now. She's going to be a liar tomorrow. And yeah, that's it.
What doesn't suit Akademiks' narrative is that Tory has also changed what he said too. He claimed that Kelsey never shot Megan, but Tory is now trying to bring forward a witness claiming that who's supposed to claim that Kelsey shot Megan. But Akademiks and his audience don't seem to want to apply the same level of scrutiny to this. Joanna was understandably frustrated that Akademiks hadn't accepted the verdict of 12 jurors who voted unanimously to convict Tory. Joanna then tried to corner Akademiks into accusing Megan of perjury.
Do you believe she perjured herself on the stand at the criminal trial? Is that what you said?
I wouldn't know. That would be something the prosecutors would have to answer. But that, we've rarely seen prosecutors turn back around and go for perjury charges on someone that they needed as a star witness. So I don't know. Again, I can't tell you what the truth is.
I didn't really ask you how frequently prosecutors decide whether or not they're going to charge somebody with perjury. I mean, you've been sitting here telling me your personal opinion about this trial and whether or not Miss Pete is a liar. So my question to you is, do you believe she perjured herself on the stand?
You're asking me if I think she did not tell the truth?
Yeah, that's what perjury means.
Okay, I didn't believe her. Not at all. At all. I believe...
So you believe she perjured herself on the stand?
Now, that's another, I don't know where they got this lawyer over there at Quinn Emanuel, but I did not want to answer to the term perjury because that's actually a legal and a criminal act. The act of perjury is a criminal act. So if I say she perjured...
See, that's called being smart. Anybody ask you like that, be sure. Think about your answer. They want you to answer quick. And you answering quick, could cost you your life. It can cost you money. It might just cost you some time. Never answer nothing quick. And see how he did that? That was actually pretty smart. Akademiks, you might got a fan of me, big dog.
Perjured herself, it means I fully believe that she could or should be charged with perjury.
She also turned the accusation of Megan being a liar back on him.
Here's my next question, which is about you. Have you ever lied about anything?
I'm a human. I've definitely told a lie. Yeah.
So should everybody say, he's lied before, therefore I'm throwing the baby out with the bathwater, can't trust a thing this guy says about you?
If they want to, yeah. That's okay. Everyone reserves the right to say, based on your conduct, I don't want to hear a thing out of your mouth. That applies to me on the highest level because I'm a broadcaster. I would love to have a billion ears. But if they said based on your objectionable views, your actions, you told us this and it wasn't true, we don't want to listen to you or we don't believe you, that's on anyone.
There's a creative side hustle almost nobody is talking about, and it's not content creation, being a YouTuber or a streamer or freelancing. It's voice.
I completely believe
she don't like that. She don't like that, big dog.
And when Joanna got another lawyer to share something on the screen, a monumental mistake was made. And instead of obtaining information from Akademiks, Ak was exposed to some confidential information about Quinn Emanuel and Rock Nation. While one of the lawyers was supposed to show something on screen to Ak, she accidentally shared the ongoing chat between the lawyers on Slack.
So she shares a screen. Bang! Here we go. So FYI, so no one wastes their time, this video is not useful for deposition, just funny. I don't know what video this is. And then Julian says, LOL, LOL. Alana says, I was dropping this in case useful later. Damn, Alana, you was my girl. So this is DJ Akademiks' testimony about the DNA tweet. Okay. And then Julian says, OVO. Why you spell OVO like that? What? Yo, y'all plotting on me and the boy? Yo, what's good with y'all?
So the mention of Drake's label is highly suspicious. This could be the fact that they're trying to prove that Akademiks is a paid mouthpiece for Drake as well as Tory. During one of their breaks, Ak also posted on social media. The deposition Meg the Stallion got me in asking me about Tory, Drake, and Nicki Minaj more than their client Meg. You sure Drake ain't pay you? You sure Nicki ain't paying blogs? Who is Grand Wizard? Did Tory send you bread on Cash App? Akademiks was apparently informed that they were acting on behalf of Megan Thee Stallion and that this case had nothing to do with Rock Nation. This Slack chat might have suggested otherwise.
So on one of the breaks, I posted, yo, they're asking me crazy up in here about Drake, everybody. Listen, I'm gonna snitch. I'm gonna tell the world. Look what she says. And this is where I realize we got you. Y'all are liars. Tell Des. If you the lawyer for
they got caught slipping, y'all. Hey, nothing but God. Y'all know it, man. They got caught slipping. Boy, they stupid, boy. Too grown for this, man. What the hell? Don't talk about people behind their back, boy.
Megan Pete. Why would you need to tell Des? Who's Des? The only Des that I know, and I could be wrong. Tell Des. Who's Des?
If he won't shut the fuck up, I'm never getting through this. I'm trying to get off this damn car. They crazy. She just fucking said I slack. The
only Des that I know, and I could be wrong. To tell Des. Who's Des? The only Des that I know, and I could be wrong. Desiree Perez, the co-founder and chief executive officer of Rock Nation. So you did this. So with y'all sitting there with me for 7 hours claiming that y'all had zero affiliation.
So there's another entertainment lawyer for Quinn Emanuel named Deshani, but this is kind of another example of Akademiks going to something that's been unverified, but it does support the evidence that we've seen thus far. What this Slack chat definitely proved was that Megan's lawyers were infuriated with Akademiks. Joanna, the brunette woman who spent most of the time questioning him, wrote, "If he won't shut the F up, I am never getting through this." Another lawyer named Marie responded that she was trying to get off this damn call. Joanna later wrote, "She just effing shared our effing Slack." And Joanna responded, "What the F? He's going to tell everyone." To which Marie responded, "Un-effing believable." Eventually, Joanna confronted Akademiks about a social media post during one of their breaks.
This morning, Mr. Allen, I asked you whether or not you had any phone in front of you or any application open on your computer that would facilitate any sort of messaging.
Yes.
And I asked you to try and refrain from that during the course of the deposition.
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe that posting on social media is a form of messaging?
Not mentioning an individual.
Okay. Elena, can we mark as Exhibit 120?
Okay, so they showed this. One of the. Here we go.
You posted on your Instagram account during the course of this deposition?
Yeah, definitely during the break. Yes.
Okay.
During the break.
Which break was that?
One of the breaks or lunch or one of the times.
What's crazy is he exposed their text and just they trying to expose him. Man.
And you wrote, this deposition, Meg Thee Stallion got me in asking me about Tory, Drake, and Nicki Minaj more than their client, Meg Thee Stallion. And I think that's 3 laughing, crying emoji faces, right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, and then you quote as if you're saying something I said, right?
I didn't attribute it to you, but I did put things in quotation.
Right, but you put it in quotations to suggest as if these are the questions you're being asked, right?
I didn't.
Look, y'all see Elena in the back. She's smiling. She think that shit funny.
In my mouth at that point.
Okay, so then why don't you tell me what the purpose of you putting quotes in your Instagram account around these phrases was?
Yeah, because I wanted people to understand the subject matter I was being questioned on. Is Drake paying you? Is Nicki paying blogs? Who is this Grand Wizard guy? And is Tory sending you money on Cash App? Actually, I meant to put a couple more things for I don't know what you out think.
So just so that I get it clear, we had a whole conversation this morning about how there are aspects of this deposition that may be kept confidential, and you couldn't even wait until the deposition was over before you started posting about it on social media.
Despite concluding in 2023, the battle between Tory Lanez and Megan and those involved lingers on. There have been online petitions, appeals, and even attempts to overturn the conviction. There's also been a request for a pardon from Amber Rose and Florida Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, who is a bit suspicious in this case. And whatever legal developments happen in the courtroom, Tory and Megan will no doubt also be keeping a close eye on the court of public opinion as they have been for the past several years.
There y'all have it. This don't make me feel like Tory Lanez is innocent, and this don't make me feel Meg is guilty. Honestly, this was damn near pointless. But thank y'all for watching it.